Ladies and gentlemen, good. It's not even quite yet, but almost. Good, almost evening. Good late afternoon.
I'd rather be home
We're
anyway.
already in the champ select, but my champ select is kind of like sleeping right now, so there we go. There we go. They already did the draft in like some tools, so we should be speeding through this one quite quickly. And I'm guessing they're just gonna lock in their own champions. So we don't really get to see how the draft played out fully, but I guess that's completely fine. And already we can see a lot of skirmishing champions, so that should be interesting for the early game. We'll have to see. Alright, Mel, that's gonna be interesting. Don't see Mel that often. I guess Faker played it in that game 5. Worked out pretty well for him. And the Wei is always a good champion. The range on that champion is pretty disgusting, so especially when you also have the Trundle Pillar with you. You know, quite big range as well, it can slow down someone. It's pretty easy to hit those long range skill shots, so pretty neat little duo. And Trundle goes pretty well into the Xin Zhao as well. Because whenever you do chomp on that Xin Zhao, take a little bite, you do take away some of his AD. So it just makes the skirmishes in the early game that much stronger. We do have the Yunara though on Kanji's side. Always a champion to be feared. Alright, so we got the Yunara Rakan versus the Varus Alistar. That is going to be an interesting lane. I don't know how the way Mel matchup goes, but to be fair, I feel like nowadays in mid lane, especially when you have these mage matchups, it's more about getting a bit of pressure and slowly building a CS lead, and not so much about like solo kills and stuff. You don't see those happening as much anymore, especially the higher you go. And I do feel like Wei has a better wave clear, so I guess that's an advantage. Having the push in the mid lane is always useful for the jungler. But we'll have to see how that one plays out. I'm more interested to see the top side though, because that is like super brawl, and then the bot side. I mean, Senny is always gonna put on a show, so I guess 2 over Paneric. I mean, let's hope so, because I mean, Camper was already saying it. At the moment, if we go to the leaderboard, we do have us sitting at second place right now, being a 5-1 scoreline, and we're playing against Kanji, who is currently 1-5. So, just looking at the score, you would say you'd favor us, but you know the score doesn't always say everything. So we'll have to see if they can put up a fight. But if we do win this 2-0, we do tie for first place with 300 white. Actually, let's see. When do we play 300 white? Because that surely will be an interesting match. That is on the last play day, if I'm correct. Yeah, in 10 days. Or 11 days, I guess. 10 days and 23 hours. So that will be for sure an interesting matchup. And I'm looking forward to that one. But right now we're playing against Kanji. So we're gonna have to focus on the task ahead of us. And I mean, this should be... I don't know if I favor any team composition. I mean, the Yunara is always going to be scary, but I know Senny's probably gonna go on hit, I expect. And he's pretty good on that champion as well, so you know. But you know, the Alistair level 1 is notoriously gonna be, you know, pushed behind, so I expect some lane control early on for the Kanji bot side. The mid lane will probably be pretty even, and then the top side is really going to be back and forth here. The Trundle should be favored early game, but you know, the Xin Zhao with the crescent card late game can be annoying. Trundle does have some survivability, and Bessa is kind of a disgusting champion, not gonna lie. Especially in the late game compared to the Renekton, I would definitely prefer to have an Bessa on my team. So yeah, we'll have to see what Soap can do with that disgusting little champion. 200 years of design on that one, all the dashes included. Should also be plenty of damage for the Xin Zhao to take him down, even if he has the Crescent Guard up with the Trundle and the Ambessa combined. Because, I mean, Senny will probably just go melee range anyway, but because it's Senny. But the Wei obviously doesn't really want to get too close to the Xin Zhao. So that Crescent Guard is going to be quite annoying to deal with. And if I'm not mistaken, the Alistair kind of counters the Rakan as well, because you can just headbutt him away when he tries to engage. If you can react fast enough, obviously. Not much you can do if the Rakan just flash ults in, you know. And then hit you with a W. That's why Rakan will always be a very strong champion, especially when it comes to the engage. Yeah, a lot of good options here for Pandaric. But same thing can be said for Kanji. Yunara should always be feared. Scary champion. And when it comes to the Mel, I mean, is there like any good spells she can deflect? I guess the Virus Ult is like the most important one. Obviously I mean, if you deflect the freaking Ambessa ult, you're obviously gonna just go into the enemy team yourself. So you probably want to avoid that situation. It would be freaking funny if that happens though. I will laugh my ass off. Alright, but without further ado, let's just hop into the game and see how it plays out. Because I could sit here yapping all day, you know? But there's only one way to find out. Let's see if we got anything interesting in the early game. It's a bit difficult for the Alistair with only one ability available. Yeah, where's Teemo? Give me Teemo. Yeah, the early game will just be a little chill, you know. Some protective wards here. And Ranger does get that extra ward in onto the top side jungle. But they are kind of reading into it that it is probably Ranger who put down the ward. So they're assuming already that this Trundle is starting topside, and they're completely correct. So kinda both teams are familiar with the jungle positions at the moment, so we'll see if this comes down crashing in the bot lane or if the junglers are just gonna go for a recall. I mean, there's always gonna be a little fight on that Scuttle Crab. We'll see how much the junglers are willing to fight for their beautiful Scuttle Crab, and already we can see Sunny is going in hard here. That virus damage is no joke, especially when you got the passive proc on minions. You got that extra attack speed. Is really useful. And for a level 1 with Alistair, you know, they're doing very, very well in the bot lane here. Kanji is not able to take that pressure level 1 here. And just like that, they take a full pressure into lane. Nice headbutt, pulverized here. The heal will be popped here on the side of Kanji, but Zenny is not to be feared. Pops his own barrier. Is dropping quite low now, so it has to be very careful. Actually taking a lot of damage into that exchange. And yeah, the junglers are about to arrive to this bot side. We'll see if they're gonna go look for that gank. Wards will already be cleared out. And both supports kind of know what's up here. The head will pulverize here to look at the catch of Shadow. Does get the Grand Enter's escape here, but would it be enough? The slow is pretty hefty here. Flash forward here, and that should be first blood secured by Pandaric. Nice proactive move there, catching off the support. And I guess Ranger was just that tiny little bit faster with his clear, and that makes the difference here in the bot side. And on the back of that, also the scuttle will be secured. Cover will be provided here for Soap, so he can just do his thing. And now Sunny here in some troubles, looking for the outplay, and is he gonna get it? How does he get away with it? 1 versus 2, his support is in the top lane. Surely he's not gonna get the double kill, Sunny. You can't get away with this. You absolute madman. He turns around and he says, call an ambulance, but not for me. Get out of my lane, buddy. Absolutely crazy work from Sunny right there. Yeah, we got iCamper and we got X-Camper. They're multiplying. Nice pulverize right there, and Habit straight back into the team in the open hands of Sinstinct, who says thank you very much, Turtle, for that free kill. I'll take that gladly. And now with the dragon up, it looks like oh shit, I might be in trouble here. The CC lockdown is coming through once again. And look at this skirmishing power here from Pandaric in the early game. And it's a 2 versus 3 for now. Teleport coming in here for November Rain, looking to assist his team. Ranger now dropping low as well. Will be taken down. So it's going to be an even trade here. And with that trade coming through, they're going to let go of that dragon. And Soap here, actually, I mean, there's so much damage here while kiting away. Has a nice little freeze there in the top side as well. Yeah, you can see Honeydog kinda just has to take the L and recall here. He's too low HP and you can I mean you can't really run away from an Abessa, so you don't wanna risk that one, you know? You can see Pandaric is heading up for the dragon now. After going a little too deep earlier on, they will just secure the dragon this time around. And already a beautiful early game here for Pandaric. I mean, I still can't believe Sunny got that 1v2, man. That is... like, what are you supposed to do against that? It's just absolutely crazy work. Yeah, it becomes very difficult now for Kanji, because Pandaric, they just have so much pressure all around the map. So now maybe in trouble. I mean, he should still have like 20 dashes left, so yeah, we'll just dash away. Has to burn the flash though. Yeah, as predicted, the mid lane is just kind of a farm fest, where both mid laners are actually relatively even in farm here. Small lead here for November Rain. But yeah, as this wave gets more damage and more mana, it should be easier to just keep those waves shoved in. It's going to be very difficult for November Rain to really find an impact on the map here. I mean, this is what you have to play against, like instant clearing the waves here with that AoE Molten Fissure. And it just becomes so difficult for the Xin Zhao to find the ganks here. Because, you know, you're gonna have Turtle roaming around the map. Speaking of the devil, there he is. You're gonna get deep wards from everyone. This Trundle Alistar duo is just gonna be roaming the map here with the pressure from all the lanes here. And already, Xin Zhao has to flash out a dodge here. Does get the public execution on hit here. It means the end of his life. And now you can't really contest these grips anymore. And slowly you're just bleeding away this game. Getting pick after pick, objective after objective. And even though the gold lead is like literally 1.3k at the moment, this game feels like it's already kind of over. I mean, it's not over obviously, but as long as Panarik keeps doing what they're doing right now, they should win this game. Spiraling Despair, connecting here for his Instinct, doesn't have that much mana though, unfortunately. It does do a lot of damage there in the mid lane. Nice damage here. The lockdown is absolutely beautiful. Shadow just barely getting out of dodge here. Now Sandy has to be careful. I mean, he has so much damage, so much confidence. Does pop the barrier. And all the summoners will be used there on the bot side of the map here. But Zin is looking for a gank. Sandy is gonna just greet the Rico at the moment. Does have Turtle to protect him. When becomes lightning does hit here on Turtle, but no follow-up engage means they both get away. But the wave will be pushed in, and they're gonna have to say goodbye to those beautiful XPs and golds from the minions. Soap here is dropping very low. Is gonna proc that shield and gets away. Top lane is kinda shaking their hands, don't wanna risk the 1v1 right now. Now Soap back under the protection of his own tower. He's gonna go for the poke flash forwards on the stun underneath the tower, but Soap just barely lives on by a threat and gets the solo bolo. A little act of desperation, maybe. Because at this point you feel like you're so far behind, you need to get something rolling. Yeah, with the tower protecting Soap, that would have never been better than a 1-for-1, I think. Now Ranger looking to continue applying that pressure here on the bot side of the map here. Sanish is going to completely ignore the tower. Ready to assist his team in the damage department. And stuck underneath the tower is the Kanji bot lane duo. But they will hang on for now, looking to clear that wave to stop the dive. But Shadow is so low on HP, they got nowhere to go. The pillar is coming to close the gap here. And Sinstinct is even there to assist, but it's not even needed. They're gonna gift over an assist to him, or maybe even a kill. Yeah, there we go. They will gift over that kill to Instinct to appreciate his proactivity on the map, walking down there on time. And he gets his reward regardless, even though looks like Panarik is just rolling across the map right now. Almost proc there for Handy Dog, looking to get the solo bowler, looking to get something for his team, but it looks like desperation once again as Soap just turns it around. Not even breaking a sweat at this moment. Another dragon looking to be collected here. On the side of Pandaric, and this is just domination across the map. The gold lead keeps ballooning, the objectives keep falling into the hands of Pandaric. Instinct is slowly becoming an absolute menace on his way with the poke. The rebuttal will come through. But it's only a temporary solution, as you do have to give up this bot lane tower at some point. So the rest of Pandaric is already moving in. Can the recall even be completed? No. The answer is no. It's just completely ignored. And this is just devastating for Kanji. Nothing on the map is going in your favor. Now Sandy maybe a little too far forward when it comes lighting does connect here, but no more dash available. Means no more follow-up. Looking to invade into the jungle here. Can they complete this invade? Ranger is dropping a little bit low, but there's not enough damage to really complete the kill. And now the turnaround is here for Pandaric, and they shut it completely down. Any attempt that Kanji are making is just being met with no mercy from Pandaric. They're ready to take every single fight. They'll not give you a damn thing. Not even a little bit of hope. November Rain does have to flash away to get out of dodge, but I don't know if you're gonna be enough to safety, and the Spiraling Despair pops him back to the fountain. And at this point, what do? There's just constant pressure all around the map, the waves being perma-shoved 24/7, all the objectives go in the way of Pandaric, towers being collected, you're being poked down by the way, but if you do engage, you have to deal with an Abessa, Trundle, Alistair, and an on-hit Varus, who is 3-0 and 4 right now and is absolutely melting you in seconds. There's just no way out here, it seems, for this Kanji lineup. Down 1-14, it's looking very bleak for them. And I do have to give them some respect, because I feel like most teams at this point, they'll just fall over and crumble. At least from Kenji, you can see some proactivity. Speaking of the devil, here we see Sandy maybe caught out again. Has to pop the flash here. Chain of Corruptions will not connect here. The follow-up engage here is here from Turtle, who is looking for the full-on engage here. Since now on top of the Sandy, but there's no follow-up damage. He's all on his own. It's not enough to take down Sandy. But once again, they're not willing to give up quite yet, and you do gotta respect that. Sandy almost gets taken down there. But yeah, it's gonna get even more difficult from this point forward. And we haven't even seen Soap that much in the team fights. And if you're Kanji, you're pretty happy about that one, but I don't think it's gonna last that much longer before Soap absolutely just tears apart the backline all on his own. That's just kind of what the champion does, you know? Also, shout out to Turtle, who has really been finding all of these engages on the Alistair. Working very well together with Ranger here on the map as a duo. Just getting pick after pick together. 0, 0, and 11 at the moment. And I think, wait, what, the 4 kills that he didn't participate in is like the 1v2 from Sandy in bot lane and like 2 solo bolos from Soap. So other than that, he has just really been getting these picks for his team across the map here. Yeah, you can see Pandaric, they're not slowing down here. They'll keep collecting these objectives. And it's already a 9k gold lead. Alright, let's see, tower dive here onto Sinstinct, but once again, Turtle is here to assist, and a Spiraling Despair does so much damage here! The Crescent Guard is only gonna get you alive for so much longer. As Sinstinct gets to his comfortable range from a distance and takes down the final member here for Kanji, and might even take down Shadow if he's not careful enough. He's got spells for days, baby. You can dodge all you want, but he got more coming for you. And whilst all that is going on in the bot lane, we got the Herald just absolutely demolishing these towers. No, hello there, Ranger. Good to see you too, man. And then we get another use on that Herald as well in the mid lane. And it is just absolutely beautiful here from Pandaric. Flash forward here, but it's once again just pure desperation. They're getting nothing done here. At this point, Pandaric are just laughing at them. I mean, what are you even supposed to do? I mean, we kind of talked about it, like the Panarik is 5-1 and Kanji is 1-5, so I expected, you know, Panarik to be favored, but this is like total domination. Like even from level 1, you know, we're talking about the Yunara, the Rakan, and how they're gonna bully in the lane because the Alistar level 1 is not that strong, but even the level 1, Sani was just doing so much work on that Varus. Now November Rain may be in trouble here, and they'll have to dodge away from the Severing Bolt, and we'll be fine here. Turtle not quite in range yet. Oh, now Xin Zhao may be in trouble here as Ranger is already here. The deadly duo in the jungle that you don't want to fight, and you can see the rest of Kanji, they don't really want to engage because they know it's a bad fight. And you're just left scratching your head, what am I supposed to do? I can't really get out. So back to the fountain it is. And now the Altacan available as well, conveniently spawning here on the top side of the map here. Now Soap is the target. They know the Atakan is long gone here, so let's see what Soap can get for himself. The Redemption coming through, a lot of damage here onto Soap as well. He's looking to battle his way out, a lot of dashes, but can't dash away from 3 people, unfortunately. So they do take down Soap, but yeah, the Atakan will be secured here on the other side of the map here, so... always good here for Panarik. They're just consolation prizes at this point. As yet another tower will fall here on the side of Kanji. And 21 minutes in, Panarik has secured every single objective in the game so far. Well, I guess they lost one group. Never mind, I take it back. But other than that, every single objective so far. One to the hands of Panarik. I mean, at least, you know, Kanji, they are keeping up in the CS department. Yeah, you can see XP differences across the board as well. Sandy already on 3 items as well on this Varus is just so deadly here. And once again, an engage coming through here, because at this point, what could go wrong? You can't just engage, and it doesn't even matter if it's a good engage. You just need to get the kills there. And another flash pulverize here from Turtle. Gets a double knock up here, and 3 kills from the hands. It's a double for Sandy. Make it a triple, maybe even a quadra. For good measure, why not? And that should be the end of the game right here. Plain old simple. Press engage button and win the team fight. Because when you're this far ahead, there is no way you can lose the fight. Or well, almost no way. With a 14k gold lead. They will just push it down the mid lane. Don't even need the Baron. Don't even need the Dragon Soul. They will just straight up siege it down the mid lane here. Some final kills to be picked up maybe if you want to farm your KD a little bit, boys. Nope, we're just gonna go for the good old end. And it is a GG for game number 1 here. Well played to Panarik. Like, I love the confidence. I love the draft. Nice counters. Don't have anything negative to say. Like, normally when Panarik is ahead, they like to do a little oopsie whoopsie moments, you know, where they kind of throw a little bit and then they pick it back up. But no, this was just clean from start to finish. It's chef's kiss, you know. Like honestly, when did we get Panarik versus like T1? You know, they would they would win the World's Finals. For sure, for sure. Jokes aside, though, I'm gonna go BRB real quick as we get ready for game number 2. Let's see if Panarik can complete the 2-0. It's looking pretty likely at the moment, but sit on tight, and I'll be back with game number 2 in just a little bit. And welcome back to game number 2. Let's see what they will change up for the draft here. The Yunara this time banned away, but actually banned by Kanji. Who questions my ability? So let's see if there will be any changes. Okay, the Cassante locked in this time. The Bessa once again in the hands of Soap. And I do like that change because I feel like the Renekton kinda wasn't it. Couldn't really get much done in the early game and falls off in the late game anyway, so there's no point where I'm like, yeah, the Renekton makes a lot of sense and is gonna get something done. Also, Cassante should be able to do pretty decent in lane, but at least it's going to be a very tanky frontliner in a late game. So at least have some more value later on into the game. And we got the LeBlanc on Instinct. And also we got my cat who is gonna walk across the screen. Because why not? But yeah, finally the Instinct LeBlanc. And the Sandy Fane. Okay, we're in for a banger game. We got the Sandy Fane and we got the Instinct LeBlanc. Like, hello. And we got a Nico as well. Like, we're cooking. We're cooking here. So change it up to Desire or Khan. Always, you know, very valid bot lane. The duo. The love pair. The love birds. Yeah, I mean, this is scary to play against. Like, LeBlanc, Nico. So much engaged on that side. Zinsile, this time in the hands of Ranger. Yeah, so it's gonna be scary. Like, if you're Jarvan, I feel like this is gonna be so difficult because who do you want to catch? You know, I don't think you wanna. I mean, LeBlanc is gonna dash out. I think the Zinzao and the Ambessa are going to be fine. I mean, the Ambessa can dash out as well, you know. Zinzao has Crescent Guard. And if you're not ahead, you're not really catching anything useful, you know. And obviously the Vayne has Condemn, so you're kind of getting yourself stunned against your own wall. And then the Nico is obviously just going to pop the ultimate, so... I mean, I guess Nico doesn't really want to ult just the Jarvan, right? So I guess, you know, that's still decent. But, you know, it's not really like you're playing against a Varus, you know, or insert any mage mid lane that has no mobility, like the Way, like an Orianna, like a Syndra, you know, something like that. That you can just pop the ult on and then they're just stuck there in a cage and they die. You don't really have that easy option here as a Jarvan. And I feel like the Xin Zhao should be a bit better in the skirmishes as well. The Crescent Guard is just going to be a bit more useful as an ultimate. But you know, you still have the Rakan engage, you still have the combination with the Orianna ultimate. You have pretty solid team fighting as well. Pretty solid front line. You don't really have... I mean, you have a decent engage, right? You have the Rakan, you have the Jarvan. So, you know, all the components are there on the Kanji side on the team composition. And it should be relatively easy to execute, you know? It's a classic front to back here. Mage mid lane, AD carry on the bot side, 2 tanks, and a nice support with some engage combined with that as well. So it's really gonna come down to positioning and stuff, and you know, if you can get those juicy shockwaves off in the team fights. But then obviously, if you look at the Pandaric side, it's pure chaos, and I can't remember which game. I think it was the Be Charitable one, where I think it was Be Charitable that picked like a crazy team composition, and it's... I think we had the Cassante as well at that time. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure here, but they had similar ideas, right? They had just these weird picks. I think they had like Shaco support or something wild, or Shaco jungle. I don't know. I can't remember exactly which picks were there, but they had this crazy composition with a lot of picks that can create chaos. Like, I don't know. I think they had Naviri as well. I don't know. I goldfish memory, you know. But basically, you know, you have the same thing with the Vayne that's gonna go invisible all the time. You have this LeBlanc with all the dashes. The Nico is obviously is gonna trick you all the time with the ultimate and stuff. The Ambessa can just suddenly jump into your backline and has like freaking 50 dashes. So, you know, a lot of dashing, a lot of trickery, a lot of different engage tools and disappearance acts that can be done. So, You know, that's gonna be a bit difficult to handle in those team fights. Especially with the communication. Did we get a reappearance of the cats? Just barely. But yeah, we'll see how those team fights are gonna play out. And especially if Panera gets ahead in the early game again. You know, a LeBlanc that it's ahead is pretty damn scary. And I don't think you want to see Sunny ahead on the Vayne either, because you know, a Vayne that is playing with confidence and has invisibility as well. It's pretty tough to deal against in a team fight. Even the Cassandra is gonna get melted at some point, you know? So we'll have to see. I feel like the top lane is going to be a bit more timid this time around. With the Cassandra being locked in. So we should see a lot more fights around the bot side of the map here. Would not be surprised if both junglers are going to start top side once again and path towards the bot side of the map here. We'll have to see how that fight around the Scuttle Crab is going to look like. We're going to see how the laning is going to go here on the bot side of the map here. And already you can hear a crazy amount of pings here. That's actually from the Pandaric side here. As they are looking to go for an invade early on. Alright, let's see it then. Oh, November rain? Okay, they'll just use the ball here. And there we go. Everyone from Pandaric will be spotted out there. So already... Okay, so they're gonna... We'll have to see if this turns out into a split map here. I don't think it will be. It's just gonna be wards on either side, I think. I don't think Pandaric will be really interested in having a split map here. And leaving your Vayne on the weak side of the map. Because there's not much to gain here on the top side. Trying to dive like Cassandra is not really what you want. Or trying to get your Ambessa ahead. So yeah, makes sense. We're resetting here. We're actually... Okay, we're gonna get some lane swaps in. Hello. Now we're cooking, I guess. So it's going to be the Saya solo top lane. Looking to gain a lead for herself. Nice trade there from Sinstinct already on the level 1. I don't know if I like this. I mean, you know, on the bot side, I don't think this Rakan Cassandra lane is gonna do much, and that means Senny is gonna free farm on the bot side of the map. Now on the other side of things, you do get Flat Sun on the top side, free farming, gets all the XP for himself. He's obviously gonna level a lot faster than Senny here, who has to share XP with Turtle. So that is going to be your advantage, but I feel like we'll have to see how the top laners are gonna fare. Because the Shadow is just gonna go for the roam instead, is gonna allow some solo XP to go the way of Handy Dog. We'll have to see how Soap is gonna do when it comes to farming here. Because I feel like he should be maybe relatively okay with the amount of abilities he has, and Ranger is already in the top side here. Looking to punish Azaya. Does have to burn the flashbang. Or the flashbang, sorry, I play too much CS, guys. Okay, Sinstinct, are you cooking, my friend? Are you cooking, my friend? The 1 versus 2, Senny has done it before. Burns the flash and the heal from Shadow. Flash forward! Oh, Sinstinct. You madman. That was a close call. So, maybe in trouble. Has to be careful. Luckily no flash on Flat Sun, so let's get out of dodge there. We're gonna have to keep track here on the CS numbers and the XP advantages that players can build up, because that's really, you know, what it's about. Soap's still able to get his XP on the top side. Ranger is covering at the moment, but we'll go for the recall here. So Soap has to be very careful. We do have the pushing Wayfair, so we do have Turtle now kind of replacing that position of Ranger. Makes a lot of sense here with that pushing wave. Don't want to leave Soap alone underneath the tower on low HP. And in the meantime, Senny is now also getting solo XP in the bot side. You can see Shadow only level 2, Turtle already level 4, so quite a big XP advantage in that department. No, it's pretty even, so it looks like Paneric looks to be doing pretty well in these lane swaps here. Senny now has to be careful. The all-out not available. The ghost will be popped here by Senny as he's dropping low here. Flash was available for Dog, but Senny preemptively flashes away. And Dog will just be happy here, but Flatson now dropping low on his first blood in the top side here for Soap. And already this game is so back and forth. You know, last time we spoke with Soap in a post-match interview, we're kind of asking, like, you know, you're kind of stuck on these tanks. Oh, we do get a timeout here, so I guess I can yap for a bit. You're kind of stuck on these tanks, you know, the signs, the orange, that type of stuff. When do we get to see Soap, you know, have some fun again? You know, when do we see the Soap Darius or something like that? And well, we do get 2 games of Ambessa right there. I guess it's not like the most flashy champ or whatever, but still a lot more outplay potential, a lot more damage on your side. So already using that pretty well for himself. And that is the beauty of Soap. You can put this guy on Ornn, he will win your lane and assassinate the enemy top laner, even though he's a tank, whilst playing on the weak side of the map. But he can also just play at Ambessa and absolutely smurf it, so... Pulse hack. Spectator bug, go away. Please. Alright, pinks on the dragon. We'll see if Pandaric I can look to take that anytime soon here. Nice trading here. Oh, this is beautiful. Shockwave might hit 2, but it's not enough. What a combo here. It's so fun because you're getting tricked as a spectator by the Nico as well. Absolutely double chain. Very beautiful to see. And now there's 3 veins on the map. GG. Yeah, Sandy has just been enjoying the bot lane in the meantime. And kind of what started as a lane swap on the side of Kanji to feed some solo XP into the hands of Flatson. You know, we see a 10 CS advantage here for Sandy, who is now already level 6. Has all the same XP as Flatson. Meanwhile, we see a big advantage here in XP on the Nico. Actually, I mean, level 4 to level 3, not that big, but, you know, still, it looks like Panaric overall came out on the better end of this. But so far this game, Kanji is a lot more competitive than game number 1, so I have to keep that in mind. Props to them. Coming up with these creative solutions, the lane swaps, making sure they're able to compete in game number 2 after a rough game 1. As it looks like Flatson is going to be the star of this show. Also have 1 death on the name, but still looking to farm it up, still looking to get those plates, to farm up the XP, skill into the late game and just be an absolute monster on the Xayah. And Instinct is just doing so well in the mid lane here, getting constant trades off here on the Orianna. Crux will be started here, but Ranger and Instinct can walk in here, the LeBlanc, excuse me. Missing the chain. Ranger now in trouble. Crescent Guard will be popped here, but there is the Cataclysm from the Jarvan. We'll lock down that final kill. And it looks like Panaric will have to give up on this objective. Wait, we actually secured 1? Okay, well, we take those. Not sure how Turtle stole that one. Another chain connecting. Nicely done by Instinct. And here comes the Nico. Okay, you get the engage on Flash, will be popped here by November Rain. And I think that got spammed into the chat. Oh, nice double chain again! The shockwave here to survive. Just enough. Oh, that combat just barely not enough here to kill November Rain. Turtle being an absolute menace here on this Nico. Can definitely see he has the experience on the champion. For another 2.5 minutes we won't have any objectives on the map here. So enough room here for the support jungle duos to look for picks around the map. Sandy has really been building a CS lead for himself though, over these last couple minutes. He's gonna go for the Sheen actually, so that is, I'm gonna guess, gonna be a Trinity Force here. I wonder if this is going to be like a Trinity Force Hex, what is it called? Is it called Hexblade? I don't know. New items, man. I don't really play the game enough to remember all the names. But we'll see what build path Sunny goes for, but it's not going to be the classic on-hit here. Yeah, thank you very much, Jycamper. The experimental Hexblade. Once again, Instinct getting those trades off here, but I mean the Orianna also starting to hurt here. Some defensive items on that Orianna as well. Makes that laning phase a bit easier for November Rain to just survive and clear those waves. So up now in trouble, just flash away. Public Execution coming through. The All-Out has been popped already, but can just tank the tower for a bit longer. Just for the Jarvan to pick up that kill. Nicely executed there. It is always a bit tricky here when you're trying to dive in the Bessa with those 20 dashes. But they do manage to lock down Soap. Things are going through though. On November Rain. No flash available. Sunny is arriving as well. Double shockwave once again, but I don't think it will be enough. It looks like I'm having a deja vu. Because I've definitely seen that one before. Just different champions this time around. Hey, Sunny will gladly pick that kill up here. 121 farm, by the way, in 12 minutes. Sunny's so close to that Trinity Force. But you know, the dragon already spawning in just a few seconds, so can't really wait for that Trinity Force to be completed. Unless they can somehow delay the dragon here, but it looks like Kanji are pretty set on taking it right now here, pressuring the river here, but will be regained here by Pandaric. Flag and drag to escape here. Yeah, maybe Sunny can sneak in an extra recall to get the Trinity Force, but knowing Sunny, he'll probably just say like, yeah, I don't care, we'll win anyway. As they start off the dragon themselves, so it looks like they're not interested in waiting for that item power spike here. Sunlit Sky and the Lunan's Companion already completed here for the mid-jungle duo. So they're looking to fight and they'll just get the dragon. And this game is going to be all about the AD carries. Especially, I think, for the side of Pandaric, because if you're looking at the DPS that you need to kill something like a Cassante, we're really looking at the Vayne here. Sure, you do have the 2 mages here. Hold on to the bot lane here. Shockwave does get popped. November Rain barely surviving here. Just a scratch Soap now getting the solo bolo himself. Handy Dog takes revenge for game number 1. And it looks like both mid laners are not giving up on that bot lane. November Rain maybe going for the recall finally. Doesn't want to get assassinated underneath the tower. Understandable. Can't give up those 3 minions. Doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, you do have the LeBlanc and the Nico, but they're not really the most proficient at killing a tank like the Cassante. Now also found himself a solo bolo on the top side. They're doing pretty well on the Cassante. But it does mean you really need that Sandy damage to take down the Cassante. Which means if you do find a pick on Sandy who does like to play a bit aggressive, you know, that could really turn the fight around. You know, on the side of Paneric, you don't really have that very beefy front line. Sure, we have an Abessa and a Xin Zhao who can be, you know, relatively healthy, but it's not quite the same as a Cassante who is just on another level when it comes to tanking. November Rain, maybe caught off guard there. The snare is gonna connect here. The ultimate will pop for Turtle. And just like that, the jungler will be fall on the side of Kanji Esports. The re-engage here is coming through from Ranger. And Flatson is caught off guard. All alone flashing away now. Windcomb's Lightning will connect here on the Flatson. And just like that, the kill will be secured. And with 2 kills in the bag here, they can look to secure the Rift Herald here as well. On the back of that adventure in the enemy jungle. Nice little snare here onto the Cassante, and we can already see the Vayne effect coming into full motion, but just like that, turned around. The Cassante is still a danger to be feared. And that just went south so quickly. I don't think they saw the Jarvan coming to top lane, they didn't expect that. And it felt like Senny was maybe positioning a little bit through BM, kind of disrespecting the Cassante. Yeah, Cassante with the all-out here, 3-0-1 right now on this. Oh, okay, goodbye Flatson. 0-7, my friend. That is so disgusting. What is that damage from Sinstinct? Hello. I mean, that's pretty much going to be the game here. Both teams looking to absolutely annihilate the AD carries with disgusting damage here. Yeah, this Cassante could be a big problem here in this game. I mean, I feel like if you have to compare this to game number 1, I feel like Pandaric, they're still putting the same amount of pressure on the map. They're still making life very difficult here for Kanji Esports. But obviously they don't have that early lead the same way they did in game number 1. Which is making life a lot more difficult here. Speaking of difficult lives here, Sunny does have to be careful here. But follow-up is not there, so he will be fine. Yeah, now they even have the Cassante, who, like I said, can be a real problem now. Iceborne Gauntlet completed as well. 2 plate caps as well. There's the engage onto the Nico. The Pop Blossom will go off, but to no avail as Turtle will fall. Will the re-engage come through? That is a question. don't think Pandaric wants to really re-engage here. They don't want to look for the fight. The dragon is up and available here for Kanji, but they want more. They want more kills. They're looking for the engage on the ranger. It's actually a flash, flag, and drag onto Sen here, but there's no follow-up here, so he still stays alive. But the Q3 from the Cassante here. Knock back into the team, and that's enough to take down Senny. The all-out comes through for Handy Dog as well, taking down the jungler. And just like that, 2 more kills in the back of Kanji Esports as they look to siege down the mid lane tower. And just like that, this Cassante is popping off in this game, number 2 here. And it's looking to continue here. Soap now dropping low as well. The heal has to be popped here as he flashes away to safety. But so much is used here on the side of Pandaric here. The dragon is looking to be received as well. With open arms for Kanji. Unless Instinct has something to say about it. Surely not, right? He's just kind of looking to cancel recalls here. Maybe they can look for a re-engage here as the players are still low on the side of Kanji. But Instinct does have to be a bit careful though, he's still all alone. Teammates not quite recalled yet, but Instinct will continue to apply the pressure here on the bot side of the map here. The chain will connect here onto Handy Dog. Redemption will be used here to regain a little bit of that health here, but they're not allowing the recalls to come through here. Minion Wave is available here, so they can siege this tier 2 if they want to do so, but Flatsim will just clear that wave out here. Instead, they will just settle for more jungle camps here, taking those away from the enemy jungle. Cataclysm coming through here, and the rest of the team is on the way here. Flatsen just behind Jarvan here, but just a little too late here. The Ranger just gets to walk it off. Instinct is continuing to push in the bot side here, and it is left unanswered at the moment. Unfortunately, LeBlanc not the best split pusher when it comes to dealing damage and clearing waves. And instead, the Atacam will be started here as the response here. Teleport is available for Instinct, is now going to go for that recall. Rift Herald is popped as well. 5,000 HP now. Ranger is just gonna go in with the Herald here. He's gonna get 2 knockups here. He's gonna pop the Crescent Guard in the enemy team here. In the backline, Soap is taking a lot of damage. He's gonna fall down. Her shield is coming through here. Soap is staying alive for so long, but finally falls here. The Atacam will be secured here by Pandaric. And Sandy is popping the Night Hunter here. Is looking to chase down more kills, but not quite in range. The rest of the team now coming through as well. The LeBlanc dashing forward here, but Jarvan staying around. Flag and direct to escape right now, but November Rain is called off guard here. Called alone. Shadow is gonna dash away as well. The Grand Entrance, but the re-engager is coming through for Instinct. The Cataclysm here hits 3 players in the backlines here, but there's no follow-up. It's a double kill from Sandy. Ranger is now going forward as well to Flatson, who is left all on his lonesome. Shadow looking to assist his teammate right here, but Flatson, it's not enough damage here. I think, my friend, it's a double kill for Ranger. And just like that, the ace comes through from Pandaric with a very unique engage here using that Rift Herald. You love to see it here from Pandaric. And just like that, they take control back into the game. How have they managed to do that? What an absolute beautiful team fight here from Pandaric. Three 0-6 on this LeBlanc, by the way, on Instinct. Credits to the LeBlanc here. Absolutely smurfing it here, this game. From laning phase to those team fights, and honestly, like, LeBlanc is one of those champions where she is really difficult to play into the mid game because people always end up forgetting how to farm waves because obviously she doesn't have the best wave clear. And sometimes people will greed, sometimes you will misplay in team fights. It's really difficult to maneuver her around those team fights to get your damage off safely. But Instinct is making sure he keeps the pressure up on the map. Make sure you keep CSing and finding the right angles in these team fights. Not over-engaging, but just going forward enough. dragon spawning here in 1 minute's time as well. I see both teams already preparing. Rage Blade completed here for Zenny as well after the Trinity Force. So not going to go for that experimental Hex Blade. But to be fair, I kind of expected a more regular... oh, hold on there, Cataclysm on. It's onto the fake sins now. Yeah, I kind of expected a more classical on-hit build, like with a Blade of Ruined King or something like that. Considering the Cassante, but... you know, I don't judge. There used to be the meta where Trinity Force was just, you know, always built first on Vayne. So for sure not a bad item on her either. And with the Rage Blade, there will be more than enough damage to take down this Cassante as well in the team fights. If Zenny does get enough space here. Yes, I think Soap has a pretty good inkling that Kanji Esports is looking to get a freebie on him. But they will not be given the freebie, and the dragon will go in the pocket here of Pandaric. And you can kind of see how difficult it is to play out those team fights for Kanji. Like that Rift Herald engage was like pure and peak chaos engage that you need on the side of Pandaric. Because it becomes so difficult once you have an Ambassa in your backline and LeBlanc is dashing around everywhere. And November Rain now caught off guard here, the chain connecting, Wind becomes lightning as well. Flash will be used here, but maybe a re-engage coming through, I don't know. If you want to fight this battle, my friend, Cataclysm now right here as well. November Rain doesn't really want to get out of position here. Shockwave available, only catching one though. And the Jarvan left alone will be taken down here. Teleport coming through though from Soap as well. And Solo Bolo here from Zenny takes down November Rain. And well, what was left of them. And well, and look who is there. It's the beautiful Baron. Ready for the taking. And there we go, Pandaric will secure the Baron. And it looks like Shadow and Hennydog are gonna find out the hard way. They were looking for something, but instead they get a trip back to the base. Oh, and there we go, we got the Hexblade indeed on Zenny after all. Just wanted to make sure the Rage Blade was completed before, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I have no clue, you know, what builds are better for which scenario, or why one would choose Hexblade and Trinity Force over like an original on-hit build. I don't play enough League for that, you know. But in the meantime, Soap plays enough League to press a few buttons and absolutely annihilate Hennydog here in the top side of the map. And it's a double kill for the Ambassa. But Instinct does take his first death here, and oh my god, no, it's 200 years gameplay. Oh, poor Flatson. Chat, look away. Oh no, look away, it's disgusting. Get it off my screen! As Benari keeps the siege up in the mid lane. Hennydog has to respond, but on his own it's a bit difficult. And look how tanky this Vayne is, by the way. With the Hexblade, with the Trinity Force. Getting that much HP. And you know, I guess that could be one of the reasons why you want the Hexblade. Just gives a bit more survivability. Compared to having to build, you know, the Blade of the Ruined King. Into the Rage Blade. Into like the Terminus or something. But yeah, Nexus exposed here. This is the final chance. And it's a triple Pop Blossom from Turtle. And I mean, that kind of spells the end here for Kanji. They fought off well in game number 2. They tried Hold on, maybe a little too early. Flatstone is still alive, but the Nexus is dropping lower and lower. And unfortunately, there will not be given a chance to complete that team fight. They take down Senny, but at the cost of the Nexus. And just like that, it is another 2-0 here for Pandaric. GG, well played. I mean, absolutely banger games here from Pandaric. Very well played here. So, I mean, I can't really say much. I feel like the macro is definitely there on the side of Pandaric, right? They keep pressuring the map. And they play very well together. You know, the support jungle duo is doing very well for themselves on the map. The players are doing very well in lane. Obviously, Sandy popped off. Sinstinct had a very good game on the LeBlanc. I mean, don't get me wrong, Sinstinct did absolutely completely fine on that way as well. Disgusting gameplay with that range, obviously. Soap is having a lot of fun on the Bessa as well. Yeah, I mean, it just the only difference is game 2. You didn't start off with like a 2 or 3k gold lead on the laning phase. So it makes it a bit more difficult. Yeah, obviously Soap did get solo killed a few times by the Kazande, so I guess that could be a point of critique. And some of the fights didn't go the way of Pandaric. But obviously you can't win them all. Sometimes you lose some. And overall, I feel like it's way more important to look at the fact that Pandaric has just had very solid macro in both of these games. They were able to keep the pressure on the map from start to finish. And they made it very difficult for Kanji to get any sort of lead or to win any fights, to get any objectives. Because Pandaric was just fighting for everything. Constant pressure in your face. And it's just very difficult to deal with. And you could see it very clearly in game 1. But also in game number 2. And I think that difference in macro is kind of what made them win game number 2 in the end. Because I feel like most teams would have probably lost that game or maybe barely win that game in like a 40-minute banger game or something. Because you know that Cassante was very scary, but Pandaric, they just kind of walk around it. Walk it around the park basically. And they lock in the 2-0 here and they're now tied up for first place as well. So overall, very happy with these matches here, and I think the players from Pandaric should be as well. And let's see, when is the next match? Do we know already? I guess it might be rescheduled as well. But it's currently planned for... Where is it? There we go. Oh, I guess it's not scheduled yet, so we will not know yet, but probably somewhere next week, I would assume. And yeah, shared first place right now. The last match of the season will be against 300 Whites, who we are sharing the first place with at the moment, so that should be an absolute banger. But our next match is going to be against the third place at the moment, who are 5-3 at this point, so that should be a very good matchup as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Probably somewhere next week. That the announcements will be on the socials, so make sure to keep an eye out on that. And obviously, if you are in the Pandaric server, you will also get a ping, a Discord ping, so you're always up to date on the next matches. So thank you guys all for listening into the cast, and as always, have a good evening, and until the next one, bye bye.